And welcome in MFHL fans into the penultimate MFHL game day live stream for this 2024-2025 MFHL regular season live from Seven Oaks Arena on a Saturday night. Two of the top four teams in the league this year going to battle. It's the second seed currently, the Winnipeg Avros, taking on the fourth seed in the Yellowhead Chiefs. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator for tonight's action, as always, in Graham the G-Show Forsyth. We're brought to you by Terrico Goaltenders, Make-Cannon Fasteners and Tools, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. If we take a look at how the start of this week went, starting off on Tuesday as there was a back-to-back played in a quiet weekend last weekend, between the Brandon Wheat Kings and the Pembina Valley Hawks. A huge weekend for Brandon as they continued to roll yesterday. We'll get into that in just a moment. But yeah, started off with the Wildcats putting the big display of offense up on the Central Plains Capitals, and then Central Plains falling again the very next night to the Winnipeg Ice, playing in two straight home matchups. As for last night, though, in the MFHL, didn't go as well for the Winnipeg Ice as they ended up falling 2-1 to the team we'll see tonight in the Yellowhead Chiefs. As for the Winnipeg Avros, we had a chance to see them in MFHL game day last night in Niverville between them and the Eastman Selects. For the Brandon Wheat Kings, a huge 5-2 victory over the Westman Wildcats to really make a great case to finish in fifth place, as they've almost locked it up. Another win or two in there, and Brandon will be facing off against the Yellowhead Chiefs as the top four teams are decided, but things still could change in the top two, as if Winnipeg's able to win two straight games and say Eastman loses tomorrow in regulation, well, Eastman would end up falling to the second seed. But if Eastman loses in regulation or in overtime tomorrow, in the shootout tomorrow, they would get a point, and that would mean they would finish as the first place team in this league for the first time in their franchise's history. We'll get into the keys to the game real quick here, as both these teams get set to hit the ice. For the Chiefs, coming off of a huge win against the Winnipeg Ice last night, their first of the season against them. They're on the road again. They were in Winnipeg for the Female World Sports School Challenge last weekend. And yeah, they'll be on the road today and tomorrow, both here on MFHL Game Day. And which Chiefs team shows up? Look, going 1-3 last weekend, even though there were some close results in there. The weekend before, they won 6-0 on Saturday night against Pembina Valley in Morden, but then lose 5-1 against the Winnipeg Avros the very next day. So, consistency, a big thing the Chiefs still looking for here in the final weekend of the regular season in the MFHL. As for the Winnipeg Avros, shutout for only the second time this year. Both have come against the Eastman Selects. They're looking for a full 60 in this one, as they started yet hemmed in more and more in their own end by Eastman's heavy forecheck as that game went along. And when they were getting offensive opportunities, they weren't getting as much traffic to the net as I thought they could have. Below the front of the net tonight, focus on the good things you've been able to do this season, build on the good habits, and try to forget about yesterday's frustrating loss in Niverville in the battle of the top two teams. Both teams getting set to go here in Seven Oaks on some Saturday night MFHL game day action on your home for MFHL Hockey, G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. Avros, Chiefs coming up next, first period, and the national anthem on the way. Well, the last time these two teams met each other in MFHL regular season action, the Winnipeg Avros bested the Yellowhead Chiefs by a score of 5-1. They were in the same pool in the Female World Sports School Challenge last weekend at the Hockey for All Center, where is taking a look at that matchup. So we'll actually find it for you coming up here. But as both teams get set to play, it's a game where the Yellowhead Chiefs look to continue to build more confidence in their game and look to find consistency as well. Looking to put together 2 wins at least on this weekend, as they'll be back in action again tomorrow against the Eastman Selects. And what better way to finish off your regular season heading into postseason where things tighten up, the intensity rises. What better way to finish off for them than going up against 2 of the best here in the league this season in the Winnipeg Avros today. The Eastman Selects tomorrow took on the 3rd place Winnipeg Ice yesterday and were able to defeat them. And for the Winnipeg Avros, a loss yesterday where it was frustration for them. Only a shutout 2 times so far this year, and both of them have come to the Eastman Selects, who've been a defensive juggernaut. But the Avros have been an offensive juggernaut for most of this season. And will continue tonight, or will they get back to that tonight, as I should say. Fun in the matchup both these teams played. The Avros last time out, playing last Friday against Yellowhead at the Female World Sports School Challenge in round robin play and defeating them 6-0. But for Yellowhead, that weekend's in the rearview mirror. Same for the Avros, as both these teams looking to do, well, 2 different things for themselves. For Yellowhead looking to win 2 in a row and defeat a Winnipeg team for what would be the 3rd time this year, as they beat the Avros 2-1 earlier on this season. As for the Avros, looking to bounce back and give themselves a shot at first place. Of course, they'd need a bit of help tomorrow from the Yellowhead Chiefs to take the Eastman Selects into overtime, as Eastman holds the edge on the head-to-head, winning the season series 3-1 last night against the Avros with that 4-0 victory. Madeline Sylvester is going to be the starting goaltender tonight for the Winnipeg Avros. It was Adriana Almeida who got the start last night in that loss, her first regulation loss of the season. As starting goaltenders brought to you by Goaltenders, Claire Merckx gets the start again tonight for this Eastman Selects team. Riding with the hot hand is Derek Tibbetts and his coaching staff, as we're off here as this called dead early here. 7 seconds into the period. So it'll bring a draw just outside the Eastman zone, right by their bench, as Derek Tibbetts and the Yellowhead coaching staff, the only other coach on the bench as well as their players, look on as the Avros able to win that draw as they played back to D as Shortridge played it to Turner, who played it into the skates of, I believe, number 10 in Sydney Haggard. This picked up by Kirby Gray as Gray looks to maneuver past an Avro, turns it over into the neutral zone instead. So this gets back into the Yellowhead zone. This up to Woloski in the neutral zone. As Woloski able to get that up, but turned over into the Avros possession. That shot blocked up. Rebound there for number 19 in Celine Wozny as she gives pressure on Gray, but Gray able to maneuver away from her, picked up by an Avro in the Chiefs zone as that deflected wide of the net. Is that on top of the back of the net now? As it's picked up by Yellowhead, as Yellowhead able to just squeeze this through onto Woloski, but off her stick, as Cochran plays this in deep onto Liberty Amy's stick. She plays that into the skates of Ellis Speechley. Is this played up to George as she turns this over into the Avros zone. As Carlin Zant gets this back off the boards. As Zant tries to maneuver away from the pressure by Yellowhead Chief in the corner, but unable to. Rozdeba down low for support as an Avro, and Zant draws a penalty for tripping coming up here to the Yellowhead Chiefs as Madeline Sylvester hasn't left her net as of yet, as this one's still behind the Avros goal line, touched up by the Yellowhead Chiefs. And with that, it's our first special teams look of the night. Should be brought to you by Kent Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia for this period. The Winnipeg Avros last night being shut down on multiple power play chances that they had against the Yellowhead, or against the Eastman Selects. Trying to do better here tonight against Yellowhead to start things off. As this one up to Evie West. She dishes this to Zant back up to West. Is West at handles before dishing this off to Rio Pierre. Down low to Callie Lavely along the boards. Tries to play it down low to Pierre again, but couldn't get it past the skate of a Yellowhead Chiefs player on the stick of Nolgren. Plays that out in front. Zant digging for it, but unable to get anything away. It's held in at the line by West. Played to Callie Lavely at that left face-off circle. Shot taken, rebound. Oh, not able to get on net as that was blocked up by a Yellowhead Chiefs stick. Nolgren, the one who tried to shoot it, tried to get it back to the point to continue pressure on this power play, but nice defensive stoppage by the Yellowhead Chiefs to get it out. Unable to clear this one, though, as it's into the skate of Evie West. Avros defenseman plays it to Pierre. Her shot deflects wide of the net off the backboards. As that into a stick of a Yellowhead Chiefs player. Nice one by, I believe, Veitch, as she goes off for a change. As an Avro trying to spin away, that's Pierre, ends up getting free and plays it to Wozni. Nice angle, smooth move by Wozni. Can't connect backdoor with that pass, as Yellowhead able to send that all the way down with 40 seconds remaining on the Avros power play. Some decent looks from the Avros, and also some good defensive efforts by the Yellowhead Chiefs on this penalty kill as they get it back into the neutral zone. That pass was intended for Kirby Gray, who has been solid this season for the Yellowhead Chiefs as the Avros try to play this up to the point. They do get it there. It's Zant who plays this to the half wall. Off the wall too hard for Wozni, though, as this ends up all the way down low. 8 seconds remain on this Avros power play as Haggard able to win that race to the puck to the wall. Able to get it to the D. It's D to Zant as that off a shin pad rebound there, but cleared away by the Chiefs as we go back to even strength. As Yellowhead able to break this out just past the red line, clear of no icing, as Kirby Gray goes off for a change. As with 15:48 remaining, 1-1 are the shots. The Avros with an early power play being shut down by the Yellowhead Chiefs, though, as the Avros have this in their own end. Sorry, folks, just adjusting the tripod right now. Maybe just a moment. Liberty Amy sends it in off a Yellowhead Chief into the Chiefs zone as the Chiefs work this D-to-D. Cochran, her pass behind number 18, and Kirk is all the way down into the Avro zone. That goes for an icing. So we get a face-off back in the Yellowhead Chiefs' end, and the Chiefs have shown this season that they can compete with the top-end teams here in the league. Is that shot by West? Covered up by Merckx. Rebound turned aside by Merckx there right on the doorstep, shutting down Pierre. Pierre gets double-teamed in front as she gives a cross-check right back to Grace Kirk, team captain here for the Yellowhead Chiefs. As last night, Eastman, very similar, putting a few bodies on Pierre at all times, 2 or 3 even at times, even 4 at one point. As, yeah, Pierre didn't really show too much. Pushback is into the slot. That unable to be taken in cleanly by Wozni. Avros still trying to whack away at this, as it was Robin Clausen was also in the slot area. As this gets played out of the Yellowhead zone, but right back in by the Avros. Robin Clausen has her pocket picked a bit. Tried to get her shot through afterwards, but couldn't, as this gets down low, kicked along the boards, and left down low by Haggard. Rolled all along the boards and out into the neutral zone. As this banks off and onto the stick of Shortridge, as she one-hands this into the Yellowhead zone, picked up by Cochran, plays it to an outlet girl. And Knight is, an Avro and a Chief taken out there, and Veitch and Amy. Penalty coming up to an Avro, though, however. So that'll send Yellowhead to the first power play of the game. So it'll be Liberty Amy going to the box. So for Yellowhead, on this power play opportunity, brought to you by Kent Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Their power play this year, as the goals that have been recorded on the MFHL's website under power play, 19, which ranks 4th in the league. The Avros, though, looking to bounce back on the penalty kill tonight, as they let up a few power play goals last night. Usually one of the best power penalty kills in the league, as this pass across unloaded on, shot blocked. The Avros able to send this out of their own end. Good kill so far with a minute 26 remaining. 13 seconds remain in the Liberty Amy penalty. With another penalty coming up here, as this will send it to 4-on-4. Sorry about that, folks. So we'll leave Can Central Sports Cards and memorabilia on the board. This gets sent all the way down for an icing. As the Avros 5 seconds away from going to the power play, as this draw won by the Chiefs into the corner, as the Avros get 5 back on, as that shot turned aside by Merckx. Hughes to start off this penalty kill. With 1:45 of power play time for the Avros to work with, as Adeline Nolgren one-hands this up to the point with a nice pass to West, as West fakes, goes to Pierre with that pass to the slot for Nolgren, but fans on that shot, and wide of the net it goes. Nolgren able to get to the boards first, gets bumped off the puck, but there for support was Zant. Gets this up to the point to West. She drags to the middle. That shot turned aside by the blocker of Merckx, picked up in the corner by Zant. In the Chiefs zone for the Avros. Nice nifty move by Zant. That shot whacking away at it underneath Merckx. Where is it now? It gets behind the goal line as the Avros get on it after having a glorious chance, so it seemed. That pass unable to get through. Nolgren gets it back. Shot blocked and wide of the net. This goes off the boards to Pierre. Tries going to the slot for Nolgren, but through the skates of number 12. She's able to pick up this puck, spinning away up the boards. Cuts now to Pierre in the low slot. That shot wide of the net is Pierre unable to capitalize on what looked like a glorious chance as this sent all the way down by the Yellowhead Chiefs, staving off the Avros attack so far. 9-1 the shots in favor of Winnipeg. Started off this way last night before Eastman started to turn it up. Maybe this killed the momentum that Yellowhead needs to get back in this one in terms of the shot column, only having one so far. That not going to be nearly enough to beat a team like Winnipeg. This taken away by Haggard to the low slot. That shot wide of the net it goes as it's picked up by Haggard again. 6 seconds remaining now in this power play. Shortridge, her shot blocked and into the corner. Wozni low slot, that to Haggard. Wide of the net she goes though, as the Avros still able to hold this in. Low shot taken in and saved by Merckx. So with 8:22 remaining, still remains scoreless despite plenty of Avro chances. Draw will be to the blocker hand side of Merckx, won by her Yellowhead Chiefs as they're able to play this out cross ice into the neutral zone. It's Wolowski. How's a girl going to the net? Decides to shoot wide of it. She goes. As this played down low to Shortridge. One hands this up the close boards to our broadcast angle, but gets pinned up afterwards. Cut off, so the Avros have to backtrack. D this goes as it's played up to an outlet girl in Dinez. Dinez across for Haggard, a bit to within her skates for her to take it comfortably as it was turned over and played back into the Avro zone. Now this kicked up by Speechley to her stick before sending a pass to Dinez that ended up misfiring. Evie West over to Leah Clausen. This gets played up to Speechley as West back with it now. Change for the Chiefs. West looking to take advantage. That shot just wide of the net as West looking dangerous on that opportunity. Speechley takes away on the forecheck. Now it's Dinez who's there in support, who plays this puck into the corner after misfiring with that pass to Speechley. As along the boards, 2 Avros there. 2 Chiefs now join into the battle. Or I guess I should say 1, as 1 was already engaged in the battle. As this poked up to the Avro. Shot from the point, wide of the net once again, off of the stick of Evie West, I believe. No, that's might have been Clausen. As West Her pass just off the mark for Speechley as that went through her stick as it goes to Dinez. Dinez, her shot wide of the net. As it goes to Liberty Amy, but she turns this over down low. Played into the neutral zone all the way down to the Avros and won't be hard enough for an icing. As the Avros play this stretch pass up to a wide open Amy. Her pass to the middle misfires upon entry into the zone to Pierre. It's picked up by Cunningham now. Cunningham stops up, fires onto the backhand of Lavalley, who tries to chip and go past a Chiefs defenseman, but shut down well as the Chiefs had good reinforcements. As Cochran plays this, rims this in her own end into the direction of George. George taken away. Lavalley able to get it to the net. Backdoor feed to Pierre. Inner skates, though, wasn't able to take advantage. Looking for this was Lavalley. Gets her own rebound, but turned aside by Merckx. As Claire Merckx locked in for this Yellowhead Chiefs squad. Keeping this a scoreless game. 13-1, the Avros lead in the shot category. As Adeline Nolgren to take the draw. Loses this to number 8 in Kirby Gray, being pressured in the corner. Grace Kirk, the captain, taken away by Rio Pierre. Kirk gets it back, plays a pass up to an outlet girl. As this played to the middle to Woloski. Woloski dumps this in, goes to chase after it. But Zant, first one on it. As Lavalley able to get this pass across to Nolgren. Nice pullback move by Nolgren to protect. Gets it back to Lavalley as Lavalley takes this off the boards. Tries to cut middle, but a nice stick. A good shutdown by Yellowhead Chiefs player. That was great. But this taken in again by Jenna Turner. Stepping up from her defensive position. Gets a short pass to Pierre. Pierre's pass knocked away by a stick of a Chief as the Chiefs are able to work the transition out, but taken away by an Avro right away. Wozni skates this in. Has been silky already, looking to do so again, trying to get to the net, but this time shut down as it's taken away by Kirby Gray. Speaking of moves, she puts one on an Avro as she's into their end now. That shot just wide of the net, just missing the blocker of Madeline Sylvester's. Yellowhead controls down low. Their first offensive zone possession in a while. Is that a tricky shot for Sylvester to turn aside? As this taken away by Yellowhead again, cutting to the net, but shut down by the Avros. Was, I believe, I'm not sure who that was. The Avros making their way into the Chiefs zone as Haggard cuts from east to west. That shot turned aside by the pad of Merckx, picked up again by Haggard as Haggard wheels around, tries to locate number 5, I believe, Dinez in the slot, but unable to, as this broken out by Tara Knight as her dumping into the equipment. The body of Evie West as her pass to Robin Clausen misses all the way down. This called for an icing. As with 3:56 remaining in this period. We'll get a face-off coming up in the Avro zone with only 2 shots against Sylvester so far. That most recent one caught her a bit off guard as the Chiefs win this draw. That shot high of the net, trying to get the friendly bounce off the boards. Are the Chiefs as it's covered up by Sylvester. As it bounced into the crease, and she wouldn't let it go out. She settles things down for an Avros team that hasn't spent much time on their own end. But yesterday, the Selects found a way to build some momentum and ended up being the ones hemming in the Avros for most of the game after a certain point in the first period. Came out really strong in the second, too. After the Avros started the game very similar to how they have tonight. Last night, or as they did last night. As looking to maintain full consistency, more consistency than last night, to come away with a victory against a Chiefs team that was able to beat a Winnipeg Ice team that was riding very high coming into that Friday night matchup. As Liberty Amy gets to this puck first down low, but was cut off by a Chiefs player. Amy trying to get to it again, but the Chiefs able to knock it off the boards, but kept in by Winnipeg. Down low for Grace Kirk. The captain plays this up the boards. This gets to a Yellowhead Chiefs player in out As that in the direction of Maxwell, but out of her reach. She goes off for a change. This picked up by Carlin Zant in her own end. As Zant puts on the brakes, makes two Yellowhead Chiefs players miss, but shut down by Pollock right in the neutral zone. Zant continues to battle with Gray right at center ice. Is Gray able to get this down deep? This is back into the Chiefs' end. As this picked up by Adeline Nolgren now, as Nolgren skating in, chips this in deep, gets to this puck first, plays this along the end boards, and taken away by the Yellowhead Chiefs, but the line not quite held by the Winnipeg Avros, even though that shot laid on Claire Merckx. She played that to a teammate. Nice dangle by number 15, and I believe Kirk. Or Erica Miko, sorry. As this taken away by Callie Lavalley, drops it back into her own end for Avery Shortridge as this pass into the skates of Adeline Nolgren as she was just into the Yellowhead Chiefs zone. Kirby Gray spinning away from, or maneuvering rather, away from the Avros checking before playing this up to Woloski. That shot through a screen, scores! Woloski taking advantage of a big opportunity on the rush for the Yellowhead Chiefs to draw first blood in this game. Accurately puts a shot through a screen, and Sylvester could see none of that coming through. Her reaction doesn't even, I'm not even sure if there was a reaction from number 29. Yeah, smart hockey play. I believe number 9. And Jordan Woloski for the Yellowhead Chiefs. As they'll go up 1-0 on this Winnipeg Avros team that has carried most of the action. I'd say almost all of it for most of this game so far. But could this be the momentum that Yellowhead needs to get through? Yes, that scores! That goal into the back of the net through a 5-0 Madeline Sylvester, and it's a quick bang-bang for the Yellowhead Chiefs on the scoreboard. As this time, number 10 in Jordan Veach putting it home. So that brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Both of those goals were Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Putting a lot of pressure on the Avros here early on, as they were down by 2-0 at one point last night, and the Eastman Selects, of course, added on 2 more goals. As for the Yellowhead Chiefs on these past 2 goals, able to just take advantage off of the rush to get past the Avros defense, set up, find open space, and at that time it was Jordan Veach who, oh, that puck almost behind and into the back of the net off of Merckx's back. So the Winnipeg Avros close to getting a fortunate bounce for themselves. So our first period been brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Offensive zone face-off draw for the Winnipeg Avros. With 34.8 seconds left, draw won by the Yellowhead Chiefs. As the Chiefs able to send this one out, it's picked up by Carlin Zant as she cut it off. Zant, her pass through the neutral zone, intercepted. Kirk gets it right back after sending it into the skate of a teammate. So with 19 seconds remaining, the Avros play it through transition from their own end as they're able to break in successfully. Amy, her shot scores! Liberty Amy picking that top right corner past Claire Merckx as the Avros finding a second life heading in to the first intermission. Could be a potential momentum killer as the 2-0 lead now cut in half. For the Winnipeg Avros, they're able to work this puck in after a nice transition. Nothing really disrupted as this Liberty Amy who finds some space, getting to the slot, high slot that is, before letting an accurate shot go past the glove of Claire Merckx. Is that goal brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Assists going to Ella Speechley as well as, well, Liberty Amy putting that in the back of the net. Sorry, everybody, can just really, not confused, but, yeah, distracted is the word I'm trying to say with just us trying to fix our cameras. We're going to throw to a commercial break as well, some highlights here as we get this fixed. This first period of action was brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. We'll be back soon for some analysis from this first intermission, or from this first period of action during this first intermission. So this first period brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. And good evening, Manitoba Female Hockey League fans, and to Morden, Manitoba for the Saturday night edition of Manitoba Female Hockey League Game Day on G-Show Productions, your home for MFHL Hockey here in the province of Manitoba. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator for tonight's action, and Graham the G-Show Forsyth. We're brought to you by Make-Cannon Fasteners and Tools, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Terrico, and Goaltenders. Sending it back into the Chiefs zone as they work it up quickly. Pollock, her shot as she pulls up, scores! One that Cassie Rakowski has a lot of trouble on there. So it looked like that shot just dipped at the last moment. Icing waved off though. Great effort from Pembina Valley as they get it up to the point. Onto Beatty's stick. Sends it to the net. Merckx didn't see that one but made the save. It's Grace Kirk, team captain for this Yellowhead Chiefs team, sends this down low to Wolowski. So Wolowski tries to spin away from the incoming check-in of a Hawks player picked up by Hodson, tries to wrap this around, picks up a rebound, scores! Great effort and determination there from number 11 and Hodson. Back to her again as she works that puck with Darby O'Brien. She fans on that pass, trying to get it back to a teammate, and now it's Veach who tries to make her pay. Veach gets this back, scores! What an effort, shorthanded, 3-0, the Chiefs lead. As Rock plays this off the boards to Brigg, and Brigg chips and goes. As Duran heading to the net, plays it to Duran, catches that puck somehow, but a better save made by Merckx. It's Yellowhead who remains up by a score of 3 in here. It's another offensive zone face-off draw won by the Hawks. Victor from the point. That shot can't get through as it was blocked up by the stick of a Chiefs player. Left it for Miko as she leads this charge on the rush. Drop to Despierlage. That tip shot scores! We've even seen it result in some goals with that puck not being cleared out that cleanly from the high-danger scoring areas. Inside of the Hawks zone, Anderson with a nice strip, but a better save by Merckx. Pass gets up to Hildebrand, but a nice job by Miko to get in the lane, disrupting that backhand spin around by Veach, turned aside by Rakowski. Play to Rose Cochran now, up the left side. Maxwell takes a hit to make a play, up to Kirby Gray, looking to go 1-on-1. Oh, nifty move by Gray, turned aside by Rakowski in tight. As is routine for goaltenders here, backdoor feed almost slides past Rakowski, but able to hold it out from under. As for the Yellowhead Chiefs, they'll continue to pressure the front of the net here off the draw. Chief player hauled down by Steve. Steves also went down to the ice. Low slot now, Rakowski turns her aside. I mean, the silver lining, if you get out of this, you probably build up a lot of good momentum for yourself, and look, for a Yellowhead Chiefs team that has had so many power play opportunities, sitting on a big lead here. As, oh no, they extended this time as Cochran picks that corner up over the shoulder of Rakowski. As Perrin battles along the boards. Pembina Valley looking to get players off to change. This stripped away now by Despierlage. That shot turned aside by the blocker of Rakowski. Along the boards, players can't dish it out right now. Trying to get it loose. It'll be Yellowhead who does. So up to the point to Kirk. Just able to get that cross-ice pass to Dean Cochran, who scores! It's Courtney Cochran who scores this time around to make this one a 6-0 game now. As Gray looks to fire this out cross site. Ice, not effective initially, but that pass was to Wolofsky. Wolofsky pulls up, shoots, turned aside by Rakowski. As we're back to even strength just like that. Held in at the point, O'Brien kept it in off of that redirect attempt out by Maxwell Cox. Her shot right again into the logo. Who looks to get it out. Stays into the Pembina Valley zone. Bat pass up the middle. Picked off by Gray. Nice move, but a nice save by Rakowski. There's a straw. One on the tie-up by the Pembina Valley Hawks. Skated out. Fed cross ice to Duran. Has break heading to the net. Tries feeding it there by great defensive stick by Courtney. From this time, Brooklyn Cochran as Yellowhead works up the other way. 2-on-1 develop. Industrial Rush to Veach. That shot turned aside. Veach so close from that hat-trick goal. For the Yellowhead Chiefs, coming all the way from Shoal Lake, Manitoba, down to Morden, Manitoba, to win this one here tonight by a score of 6-0.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, The Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
Welcome back to MFHL Game Day on this Saturday night at Seven Oaks Arena. As the Winnipeg Avros, the home side, down 2-1 to the Yellowhead Chiefs after the first 20 minutes of play. A period where the Avros controlled play for almost all of it. The Yellowhead Chiefs, though, finding ways to break through the Avros' pressure, to break out of the defensive zone and send themselves on some rush opportunities where they were able to capitalize twice. As we'll update you on the goal scores for this game coming up in just a moment. It was Jordan Wolofsky who ended up scoring the first goal of the game for the Yellowhead Chiefs, and then Jordan Veach scoring the second one near the end of that first period. They were pretty much back-to-back, coming in very close together. But the Winnipeg Avros, with maybe something that could have turned momentum their way at the end of the period, as Liberty Amy is able to get loose in the neutral zone, receiving a nice pass made from the Avro zone, and is able to work into the middle of the Yellowhead Chief zone into the slot and fire a accurate wrist shot, high glove past Claire Mertz, who was perfect up until that point through the 14 shots she faced before Liberty Amy's made it 15 for the Avros on the shot clock. As for the rest of the action going on tonight in the MFHL, as we'll throw you to the screen right now, the Brandon Wheat Kings currently, well, not actually currently underway. They're supposed to get going at 7:30 p.m. It has this game is live right now on the website. But yeah, here's what's to come tonight. The Winnipeg Ice traveling to Heart-Need a battle against the Westman Wildcats. Winnipeg and Westman both looking to get back into the win column. One of them will tonight, of course, as someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. Brandon looking to keep their hot streak rolling. 3-game win streak right now. Heading into Portage to face off against the Central Plains Capitals and the Pembina Valley Hawks on the road to take on the Interlake Lightning, which it is seniors night for the Interlake Lightning. It was seniors night for the Yellowhead Chiefs last night, as I'm pretty sure every team in the league does this last home game of the season. Yeah, every home team does. Their grade 12s get honored. So Winnipeg's going to be doing that tomorrow afternoon, as all games are going to be in the afternoon tomorrow on Super Bowl Sunday, as we'll have the Chiefs' final game of the season against the Eastman Selects in Niverville, as it'll be Niverville honoring their seniors as they got the night off tonight. But as for the standings in the MFHL, despite Winnipeg losing last night 4-0 to the Eastman Selects, they still have a shot at getting first place if they're able to win this game and tomorrow. And if Eastman ends up losing in regulation, then the Avros would claim first place. But they still got some work to do against the Yellowhead Chiefs, who are looking to play spoiler against them tonight, up 2-0, striking quickly. And hey, for the Yellowhead Chiefs, surviving the Avros swarm for most of that period and going up 2-0, it's big time, right? And we saw the same thing from the Avros last night, as mentioned, as they started off the game as the stronger team, more offensive zone time, but then momentum suddenly shift into Eastman's favor. The Avros, that goal by Liberty Amy at the end of the period might have been what they needed to not let this one slide. Could they come back in this one and end up winning to complete the comeback? They were once down by 2 goals, now only down by 1 heading into this next period of action. So we're going to change the period clock. Our first period, by the way, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. As our next period of action is going to be brought to you by, as both teams make their way out onto the ice, will be brought to you by Terrico for this period, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Be sure to check out their website to find out why at terrico.ca. And we're also brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website at gordonsongoalies.ca for more information on what they do. To get the specifics, as we got 2 of the top 5 goaltenders in the league in wins here, facing off against each other tonight. And Claire Merckx and Madeline Sylvester. Adriana Almeida got the start last night for the Winnipeg Avros, as she ended up losing her first regulation game of the season. Madeline Sylvester only with 1 loss on the season. She's looking to keep it that way tonight, as she'll need a bit of help in front of her, as an Avro as well as a Yellowhead Chief tangled up. Knight and Shortridge is a penalty being called here. So we're going to go to special teams right away. 2 minutes for a cross check. The question is, who's it coming to? Because both of them tangled up with each other, trying to get away from each other. Didn't get a great look at who initiated it first. Welcome in, everybody, if you're tuning into this one just now. We're at the start of our second period. As we're sorting things out right now at center ice, as the refs deciding who they're going to take. Speaking right now to Shortridge, who could be the one going to the box, and it looks like number 18 will be. It ends up being Tara Knight who draws the penalty, getting tied up with her. And number 18 in Shortridge for Winnipeg. So 19:48 left in this second period. We're going to get the Yellowhead Chiefs back onto the power play. Or no, just kidding. We're going to see no one going to the box. It's just all a big misunderstanding, as we're back to play here at even strength early in this the second period, as we're not even 30 seconds into it. As this
Tried to get played to the slot for the Yellowhead Chiefs, but they couldn't play it there. This played into the skates of Shortridge. Still remains out there. Wasn't able to play pass to the middle to Clausen, able to send that through cross ice to Haggard as she gains the zone. Haggard stops up at the hash marks, tries to power through to the net. Now beautiful pass. Oh, Merckx, what a save in front, denying Wozni. What a sneaky pass. What skill to connect that by Haggard as she weaved through the Yellowhead Chiefs D before sending that off to Wozni as she gets that onto 19 stick again. As Wozni tries playing that up to the point, but pass way too short. As Cunningham will hold the point, however, for the Avros. That shot through a screen, but right into the breadbasket of Merckx. It's with 18:50 remaining. We get a stoppage. How about some love for the goaltenders here? What a save by Merckx to keep this a 1-goal lead for the Yellowhead Chiefs. What a feed from Haggard, though. Can't get over how she was able to maneuver through and even get that pass through. As this gets through to the slot, that denied by Merckx in front. Pierre right there, but number 9 still snake bitten on the weekend. Of course, the Avros shut out yesterday. Pierre looking to secure 80 points, I'm sure. She's 4 away at 76 heading into the weekend. But I'm sure, more importantly right now, she just wants to get one. You know, going to be interesting to see how her body language looks throughout this game if they continue to shut her down, and how she responds to this. How she can be effective in other ways as she was tonight, last night, as I should say. Named player of the game for the Avros on our stream, even in the losing cause. As this ends up to the point to Cochran. Cochran across. That shot unable to get through, blocked up by Liberty. Amy is a Chief taken down at her own will, though. That was number 17 in Cali Despier-Lage. Despier-Lair, as I should say. Despier-Lair gets this in deep, goes off for a change. As it gets played up the boards by the Avros, but out of the reach for Dinez as the Chiefs with some good offensive zone time right now going to be ended as the Avros able to get this out and all the way deep as Dinez goes off for a change, as well as Amy. All Avros forwards getting changes to get fresh legs out onto the ice. Lavely along with Nolgren, and now another Avro comes on. Actually, they didn't get a full line change. Now they do. Top line back out for the Avros, centered by Nolgren, flanked by Lavely and Pierre. This draw won, I believe, Casey George. Can't quite make out the number. As Yellowhead tries to play this out into the skates of Presley Hodson. Instead, nice play by Hodson to poke this all the way down to the Avro zone. No icing called. This played up out of the reach of Pierre up the boards, down for an icing. So we got a face-off into the Avro zone coming up. But for Winnipeg, they've been as consistent as you can get as a hockey team this season. The team that's been the biggest thorn in their side has been the Eastman Selects, as they end up going 1-3 against the Selects this season. And we saw Eastman play them tough defensively all night long last night. The Chiefs have been doing that for the most part so far this evening. As an offside called on the play, so we're going to get a face-off just outside the Chiefs zone. This squirts through onto the stick up here. She unloads, fire shot turned aside by Merckx. So we get a stoppage with 16:16 remaining in this period. Draw will be to the glove hand side of Merckx. Top line still remains on for the Avros. This time Nolgren loses the draw. This skated up by number 9 in Woloski. Already with the goal in this game. Nice angle along the wall, but loses the puck. Gets it back. She chased it down, now loses it opposite side down low in the Avros zone as the Avros play this cross ice. Nolgren all the way out. This puck will have enough steam to go down for an ice, and it will. Just looking at our live chat, Matt saying, great first period of action. Gotta agree with him there. Even though it was one-sided on the shots, Yellowhead made it really interesting by being able to capitalize on low volume but high percentage chances. As Pierre tries to dangle through, loses this in the skates of the Yellowhead captain Kirk as she battles the stick of Turner. Turner, her effort, able to get this to Pierre as her shot turned wide of the net off of a Chiefs player's stick. As Pierre loses the puck, picked up by Lavalley. That shot scores! Kelly Lavalley picks the corner, tied this game up at 2 apiece. The Winnipeg Avros are ace a 2-goal deficit within the first 5 minutes of this second period, and great support there on the forecheck from the Avros as Pierre gets double teamed. And hey, when there's multiple players going at just one player, that usually is going to open up some ice, and Callie Lavalley finding some there after she scoops up that puck. Not the hardest shot number 8's ever taken, but an accurate one at that to full Merckx. As Rio Pierre with the assist to get to .77 on the season. As that goal brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. As the Avros able to keep this in, sent into the opposite corner now onto Wozniak's stick. That's in front, turned aside, or just wide of the net. That might have gone off the stick of number 10 in Haggard, who maneuvered with some silky moves up the boards. Got it back down low. This pass attempted out into the slot, turned over and taken away by the Yellowhead Chiefs as they're able to send this in deep to the Avro zone. Steered into the corner by Sylvester or a teammate as this played up into the neutral zone for Wozniak. Played it back into her own end. So that was touched up by a Yellowhead Chief for an offside. So we'll get a face-off closest to our broadcast angle just outside the Avro zone here. Veach loses that draw against Speechley. The Avros work this across to Dinez as Dinez didn't like her options ahead of the ice, so decides to backtrack, dropping it back to a defenseman. Speechley now gets this through the middle, kicks it out to Liberty Amy, who shut down with a good stick of a Yellowhead Chiefs player. That to Hodson. Now Hodson tries to get it back to Erica Miko, but was unable to. Taken away in the high slot by a Chiefs player. That turned aside by Sylvester. She was able to steer away that shot taken by Tara Knight. Oh, sorry, I think it might have been Miko who took it. Tough to make out these numbers right now as this played onto the stick of Kirby Gray. Tries to protect this along the wall and does so before trying to send it down. Didn't get there as it ended up hitting a stick. Held in at the point by Kirk. That shot through a screen ends up going wide of the net. It's a hooking penalty. It's going to be the call here coming up. This time we will get a penalty. It's Evie West going to the box. The Avros captain getting a bit too active with that twig. So we see it right there from the referees. 2 minutes for a cross check. It sends the Chiefs back onto the power play. It'll be an Avros penalty kill brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. This draw won by Winnipeg. They try to play it off the glass, and they do out of their own end. As this picked up by Kirk. A bit too into the skates of Kirby Gray as she struggles with this one. Now an Avro taken down. Penalty called here is that power play. The Chiefs can kiss it goodbye. There's only 16 seconds worth the power play time before they end up going to the box. As it's going to be 4-on-4 time coming up. as Kirby Gray ends up going to the box. 2 minutes for a trip as Gray, it just comes down to her losing positioning and losing that puck in her own end, and a desperation play, I guess, with the trip into the skates, taking out a Avros players. The Avros able to get this out onto the stick of Nolgren. Has Lavalley with her as Nolgren slides it over to Lavalley, but just out of number 8's reach as she was heading to that left post. Try to tuck it in as Yellowhead works this up. It's on the Woloski's stick. Her shot deflects off an Avro twig and wide of the net. Ends up to the point to Maxwell. As Maxwell gets this to the net, redirected in the slot, but wide of the net that went off the stick of Rozdeba. Rozdeba plays this towards the net, paddled away by Sylvester as it looked like it was going way wide anyways. 53 seconds remaining in this girl advantage. Call coming up here. A late arm up from the referee, but an arm up nonetheless. So this will send the Avros to the power play right away now. So we will keep goaltenders on the screen for a Yellowhead Chiefs power play. Or penalty kill, as I should say. The Avros, after being down shorthanded minutes ago, now find themselves up on a power play chance with this game tied to unanswered recently. That shot turned aside by Merckx through a screen as the Avros converge along the boards to try to take this away. Giving chase on number 15 in Miko is Amy, but Miko gets this to safety as the Chiefs able to send this all the way out into the Avro zone. No icing called on the play, of course, since the Chiefs are shorthanded, but getting to that puck first anyways was number 10, Jordan Veach, who's been impactful so far tonight. A goal already in this game, which made it 2-0. As Erica Miko spins away from the pressure, and Avro converging. That's Liberty. Amy dangles through, now dangles to the outside as Amy maintains possession of this puck. Into the corner. Amy stops up as we're on to a 5-on-4 shortly here as the Avros on a 5-on-3 up to the point. This play D to Leah Clausen. Shot unable to get through, blocked up by a shin pad. Clausen able to be quick enough to get on it. She plays that to the far boards to Dinez. Dinez, her pass, unable to get through a Yellowhead Chiefs skate. So that puck hit a Chiefs player all the way out by the Yellowhead Chiefs now and sent down into the Avro zone where Sylvester is out of her own net to leave this for number 18 in Shortridge. As Shortridge gets it quickly back and sends it to Turner. Shortridge going to get it back again as she decides to skate it this time. Skates it in to the Chiefs zone. That shot turned aside by Merckx. As with 10:42 remaining, 10:23, or 23 seconds left in this Avros power play. We'll see a face-off draw won by the Avros after a tie-up. Clausen tries to feed that back door. It looked like she forced it to Callie Lavalley, to be honest with you. This passed up to the point to West. Her shot deflects wide of the net as this almost another successful kill for the Chiefs. Maybe not here. Oh, what a defensive play by number 5. Or 5 in Maxwell, that is, getting a stick on the stick of Adeline Nolgren right there in the slot as we go back to even strength. Very much could have taken away a goal there recently, as we saw. As this kicked out to Lavalley. Backdoor pass! Oh, just denied by Merckx. Was Pierre on the front door. On that doorstep. Lavalley back in the slot. That shot turned aside by Merckx again into the skate of Rozdeva and plays this into a teammate's body. And Maxwell gets this all the way down deep into the Avros end, where Sylvester is out to play it. This taken away by Rio Pierre now. Tries to maneuver her way up the boards, but has this knocked away by Cochran. Pierre able to get positioning along the boards to get this puck back as she goes to the high slot. Connects with the teammate. Drop back to Zant. That shot blocked by the shin pad of Woloski. Circled around again by Dinez. Drops this off to her defenseman, who drops it back to Dinez. That was Cunningham who did so. That got to the slot. Pierre unable to whack away at it as the Chiefs look to break up, get something going through the neutral zone. It's Kirby Gray, tries to dangle through, able to, but unable to catch up to it right away, as she finally did below the goal line. As this along the wall now played down low and out of the reach for any Chief player to get it, as Pollock was in the area. It was Cunningham who was able to play it up. Has it taken away by Kirby Gray, as Gray circles around in the offensive zone. Gray now still unable to penetrate the middle, sends it out back door. That covered up by Sylvester. So we get a stoppage in play with 8:24 remaining in this third period of action. You're watching MFHL Game Day on your home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. I've been your host and play-by-play commentator for tonight's matchup, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. As this, a tie game right now, as the Yellowhead Chiefs looking to get something going offensively in the Avros zone, as the Avros have other ideas, able to break this out as Wozniak strong deke towards the boards to evade the Yellowhead Chiefs pressure. The Avros get this right back. Robin Clausen pressuring Grace Kirk, as Kirk connects that pass successfully to a teammate, as this sent in deep by this Yellowhead Chiefs squad. Kept in deep by the Chiefs. Rose Daba taken out in front of the Avros net by Shortridge. This time number 18 is going to be headed to the box. She interferes with Rose Daba, blatantly, clearly catching it on camera. So you can see there, if you were to play back this stream. But it'll be the Yellowhead Chiefs who go back to a power play, hoping for more time on the girl advantage this time around. So it'll be brought to you by Terrico, as this draw one to the corner by the Winnipeg Avros. Onto the stick of Evie West. She's able to clear it all the way out and past the stick of Courtney Cochran, as Cochran has it behind her own net. And surveying options, as there's 2 minutes for head contact. That's the official call of the penalty. There's only a minor. Sometimes if it's over the line, they'll call it for 4 minutes. Seen that in the MMJHL most recently. As this onto the stick of Rose Daba, the one who drew the penalty. Rose Daba looks to drop this back. That pass almost cut off, but gets onto the stick of number 17 in Despier. Lair plays it back to the point, but unable to connect with Courtney Cochran. With over a minute remaining on this power play for the Chiefs. The Avros looking to work something short-handed, just missing in front. That pass by Callie Lavalley to Adeline Nolgren. This behind the Chiefs net. This pass played to Kirk. Nice move. Mohawks to protect that puck as she gets this up to Kirby Gray. Tries to dangle to the outside. Not as successful as her teammate in Kirk, as this taken away by the Avros and sent all the way in deep into the Chiefs zone again with 35 seconds remaining. Oh, gutsy play to skate in front of the net, but it pays off for Yellowhead as they set this up on a 3-on-2. Drop back. Kirk to Pollock. Back down to Kirk, but that misses. Looking for a wraparound. Sorry, that was Kirby Gray. Kirk at the point. That shot there almost tapped in by the Chiefs, but unable to get that final execution as it's to Kirk. Ends up to the slot. Woloski. That shot turned aside by Sylvester. 4 seconds remaining in this power play for Yellowhead as they work this to the half wall. We're back to even strength as Kirk. That shot blocked up as the Winnipeg Avros look to work this up through the neutral zone. Through into the Chiefs' end as by the net. The Avros unable to capitalize as that was Lavalley. Got the puck on her stick. It's picked up by Ella Speechley. Speechley shields this puck on the backhand with one hand. Now has two hands on the stick. Unloads a shot high of the net. past the right shoulder of Merckx. This skated up by Kirby Gray. So dangerous with the puck. She spins away from the Avros pressure. Now regroups in her own end as the pressure a bit too much for her. She was looking to go through it. That slap shot ends up wide of the net as Cochran tries sending it there. That gets to Tara Knight. Whacks it into the corner to Veach. Veach to Knight. That shot turned aside by number 35 in Alameda. There's been a goaltending change in this matchup. Sylvester right now sitting on the bench, just noticing that. A power play, by the way, brought to you by Terrico. Serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Is this kept in the Avro zone still by this Chiefs team? It gets onto Hotson's stick. Plays it up to the point. That shot blocked up huge by the Avros as it's Sydney Haggard sending herself the other way. Has Wozniak with her, but Haggard dangles out, denied by Merckx, as Merckx just able to keep this one out as the Chiefs try to make it down the other way to catch the Avros off guard. Now that dangle to the middle, shut down by an Avros stick. Is that huge by the captain in Evie West? Shut down that potential chance. High danger ramifications from this Yellowhead Chiefs team. This played up to Eric Amico. That shot off an Avro. High of the net it goes. Shot from the point. Unable to make its way through. Hodgson now on the back check, as well as Veach. She got a stick on an Avro there in Clausen. That covered up by Merckx. 3:25 remaining. 25-9 the shots in favor of Winnipeg in this one. They tied it up earlier on in this period with 3:25 remaining. Looking to score their third unanswered as they started off down 2-0 before making it 2-1 late in the first. A goal from Liberty Amy. Scoring been pretty spread out tonight here for this Avro squad as that paddled away by Merckx. Ends up onto the stick of Despiège-Lair as Despiège-Lair sends this in deep, gives chase on it, but Carlin Zant will be the first one on it. Passes off the boards, this cut off by Grace Kirk. As Kirk now rubbed along the boards, down below the Avros net, below their goal line. This puck gets to Adeline Nolgren. She sends this off of a Chiefs glove out of play. This will get a face-off. Coming up inside the Avro zone. So it's won by the Avros. Tripped up on the play there was Avery Shortridge, but no call coming as Shortridge goes back to battle in the corner. Going to battle with, I believe, Woloski, another Yellowhead Chiefs player in there, and Pollock trying to dig this loose. Nolgren also in for support for the Avros. Shortridge was able to shovel this out along the boards as this passed out and kicked out wide to Pierre in the neutral zone. Hits Lavalley with a cross-ice pass just before the blue line as the Avros were able to get in successfully. So they look to work this puck to the point. It gets to Turner. That shot unable to get through a block of a Chiefs player as the Chiefs work their way with speed through transition. Kirby Gray tries to dangle through Shortridge, but the recent York University commit shuts down number 8. That pass able to get through to Speechley. Dangles through Speechley. What a move, but nice defensive effort by the Yellowhead Chiefs defenseman to shut her down at the last moment there. This all the way down into the Avro zone. It'll be chased down with success by Leah Clausen. No icing called on the play as a few players blowing a tire. This in advantage for the Avros as Leah Clausen scores! Avros go up by 1. 3-2 the score with 1:31 remaining in this second period of action. Well, maybe there's some wet spots out there after all still in this period at this point on the ice, as a few players end up blowing a tire, loses an edge. A Yellowhead Chiefs player, which ends up being crucial as Leah Clausen blows her way past all Chiefs players. They don't have enough numbers to defend on the way back. Unfortunate situation for them. It was Leah Clausen who was able to take advantage. It's the Avros. That goal brought to you by Terrico. Clausen with the beautiful shot to pick the low corner past number 33 in Claire Merckx. It's the Avros now scored 3 unanswered in this matchup. With under a minute to go now in this second period of play. As this up to Grace Kirk. That shot off a body out in front. Loose puck. Trying to whack away at it. The Yellowhead Chiefs send this over the net. That off the stick, I believe, of Knight or Veach. Either one of them is that unable to get deep. The Avros looking to stretch the ice. They do. It's to Wozny. Coming back hard. It's Kirk. Wozny unloads. Getting her own rebound. But Merckx denies her twice. On a beautiful save there. Great battling from number 33 to deny a great chance of Wozny, or by Wozny, as the Avros able to catch the Yellowhead Chiefs a bit too deep in their end, as the Avros able to get wide open bodies in that neutral zone. As that shot in the slot wide on the net, it goes off of the stick. Number 14 and Robin Clausen. This played up the boards. The Chiefs looking for one more chance to work this into the Avro zone for an offensive opportunity. Blocked up into the shin pad of Shortridge on that shot. 8 seconds remain now as this in the Avro's corner. Trying to dig away at it, the Chiefs. But it's going to remain there, as that will conclude this second period of action. First 40 minutes in the books. So it's been an entertaining one. The Avros answering back to come back in this period to go up by a score of 3-2, scoring 3 unanswered, 2 unanswered in this period. And for the Yellowhead Chiefs, a bit more offensive zone time through these past 20 minutes of action, but overall still 5 shots per period, where the Avros have put their shot total up to 28 now. 28-10 for the Avros in the shot category. And yeah, for Winnipeg during that period, just started to find more room in the offensive zone. I thought that it was a great play by Callie Lavely, who ended up tying up this game. It's just an example of a good system on the forecheck. On full display for the Avros as Pierre gets double teamed. Leaves Callie Lavely with even more open space to get that to the slot area, where she unloads a shot past Claire Merckx. Where, yeah, double teaming Pierre, it could work out every once in a while, but as we saw there, it leaves you kind of compromised in a defensive zone. And, well, on that most recent chance for the Avros, benefiting from some luck in a way, as a few Yellowhead Chiefs players blowing a tire. And, I mean, the rest is history on that play, as Leah Clausen able to burn by and unload a rip of a shot past Claire Merckx to full number 33 to, yeah, put the Avros on top. The Avros almost made it a 2-goal lead for them heading into that period after Celine Wozny got loose in the neutral zone wide open as they hit her with a pass. Great back check from Grace Kirk, wasn't able to quite get there. Her goaltender making a huge save, as Wozny was able to get her own rebound as well off of that chance. But as for this third period of action coming up, it should be a close one. Expect for Yellowhead to come out with as much pressure as they can put out on the Winnipeg Avros, as Winnipeg looks to shut this one down and take it home while looking to extend their lead. Only up by 1 scoring 3 unanswered to do so, as they were down 2-0 at one point in this game. We are going to send to a promo screen, and then we'll be back for some intermission analysis here in a few minutes on your home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca.
Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has been the place to shop for your industrial needs for over 20 years. Carrying the tools you need to get the job done from the brands you can trust, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has you covered. Brands like Milwaukee Tool, established in 1924 and on display in our Milwaukee Red Zone, the largest red zone in Winnipeg. With construction workers and tradespeople in mind, McKenna Fasteners and Tools is your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs.
So come on down to our Winnipeg store location today.
Located on 1557 King Edward Street in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Welcome back into Manitoba Female U18 AAA Hockey League Game Day here on G Show Productions, here live from Seven Oaks Arena as we're just about to get started for the third period of action, as that second period was brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry, as well as goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website at gordytomlinsongoalies.ca for more information on what they do, which is basically a Zoom video goaltending service to help improve your goaltender by taking a look at footage. So maybe something to consider by checking them out and see what they could do for you if you have a goaltender that is interested, or if you are a goaltender that is looking to up your game. This next period of action is going to be brought to you by McKenna Fasteners and Tools. But as for how this game has gone so far through the first 40 minutes, it's 28-10 in shots in favor of the Winnipeg Avros. As for how the shots went throughout that second period of action, 12-5 in favor of Winnipeg. Thought that Yellowhead had, more looks in the offensive zone during that previous 20 minutes of action, but it was the Avros who really did control play once again. Ended up breaking through for 2 more goals to put themselves on top. Callie Lavalley with a heads-up play, good support on the offensive cycle that the Avros are trying to get going, as Pierre got double-teamed on the play. And also scoring for the Avros to put them ahead, Leah Clausen taking advantage of some blown tires from the Yellowhead Chiefs. This game here, the Avros up by a goal. Unlike last night where they were unable to find the scoreboard, they go down in this one again 2-0, but it didn't faze the Avros this time around. I think a huge boost for them was that goal at the end of that first period by Liberty, aiming to cut that 2-1 lead, that 2-0 lead the Yellowhead Chiefs in half to 2-1, and I think that from there the Avros have just been able to find more openings, more cracks than the Yellowhead Chiefs. Defense, of course, on that goal by Callie Lavalley, and of course just the Avros taking advantage of an unlucky break or two from the Yellowhead Chiefs on that 3-2 goal to go ahead, scored by Leah Clausen. As the Avros make their way back out onto the ice, as we show you the standings here before we get going for the third period of action. The Avros, if they're able to win today, that's big time for their first place hopes. Gives them a great chance still, but the Eastman Selects have been playing some great hockey, man, all season long, and it's been continuing. Still yesterday, as they were able to defeat the Avros 4-0. They play against the Yellowhead Chiefs tomorrow. So take a look at the 4 last games of this regular season that are happening tomorrow afternoon. 3 other games happening tonight in the MFHL, as they'll be getting going very shortly in Westman, in Hartney, in Portage, and then coming up at 8 p.m., Seniors Night in Interlake, as the Lightning playing host to the Pembina Valley Hawks in their final regular season game of the year, and it coming at home. As for the Avros, they'll be having their Seniors Day tomorrow, I guess, since the games will be played in the afternoon. The Chiefs had theirs last night at home. But both teams set and ready to go here for this upcoming period of action, as it is brought to you by McKenna Fasteners and Tools. The Avros looking to take this one home in the penultimate game of the season for both these squads into the last 20 miles of regulation.
Is the Avros. This taken away, but held in at the point. A nice stick from Celine Wozni, who had 2 great opportunities at the end of that second period of action, of course, being able to get loose in the neutral zone and receive a nice pass. Good heads-up pass made to her, but Merckx was able to deny her on the breakaway. 33's been really good tonight despite letting in 3 goals on the 28 shot she's faced. This wheeled up high into the zone in the Chiefs' end by Clausen. Lost it, goes off for a change. The Avros still possesses. Haggard gets pinned up along the boards by Courtney Cochran as Yellowhead trying to rim this out, but can. It's cut off by Zant. Yellowhead will try again, this time into the skate of Speechley, as this time, 3rd time's the charm, Yellowhead finally able to get it out of their own end. Speechley able to burst in. Again, her shot blocked up by a skate of Cochran. Speechley gets it back, plays it into the slot. That off the skate of... No, sorry, that's Miko, I believe. Miko or Cochran. It was Cochran, but a trip going to be called on the play here. To a Winnipeg Avros. So, for the first time in this 3rd period, bringing McKen Fasters and Tools back onto the screen. They'll send the Yellowhead Chiefs onto the power play, looking for power play goal number 20 of the season, as they have 19 coming into this one. 4th in the league in that regard out of the 9 teams that make up the MFHL. Is watch out for a linesman blowing a tire there. She's back up, she's okay. Kirk, her shot through, turned aside by Adriana Almeida, who didn't end up getting the start in this matchup, but came in for relief for Madeline Sylvester. As Sylvester only played 1 minute and 8 seconds into the 2nd period after playing a full first, so hoping that number 29's okay. Been so good all season in the pipes. So is Almeida, but you never like to see a goaltender's night end if it is due to injury. And that seems to be the case. We'll have to confirm that at some point down the line. If that is the case, or I don't know if Ashley Van Aglen just trying something new, giving both her goaltenders some playing time here. Get that confirmation. Have for you all tomorrow, most likely, on MFHL Game Day, as the Chiefs work this in to the slot. This puck picked up by Woloski as Woloski threads this through an Avros skate, but all the way out of the zone as that pass unable to be held in by Erica Miko. Plays a pass onto the tape of Gray in the neutral zone, who's able to dangle past Haggard by a hair as she tries to get that towards the slot, but into the skate of an Avros player. That pass unsuccessful from Gray. As 40 seconds remain on this Yellowhead power play. This sent all the way down into the Chiefs' end. As hits the paddle of Merckx. Leaves this for a teammate in Cochran, who plays this across to Miko. Miko regains possession of it. Now into the Avro zone. That draw pass a bit too short and picked off by Speechley. She goes down the right side, only Cochran to beat. Speechley pulls up to shoot, glove down by Merckx, as Merckx, with time to play it, decides to throw it down for one of her defensemen. As this gets the breakout going, played up to Miko. 4 seconds remaining on this power play. To Miko, heading towards the net as that tipped on net, turned aside by Almeida. As we are back to even strength, as the Chiefs come away empty-handed on that power play opportunity. Pierre gets stood up along the boards, hit hard as she's slow to get up. Draws a penalty, though, as the Avros are going to be going to the girl advantage soon here. But first they'll look to control it on the 6-on-5 to Shortridge. Her shot blocked, sent to the close boards, picked up by Sydney Haggard. Played to the slot to Nolgren, has that stripped away and touched up by the Chiefs. This is going to be 2 minutes for body contact, I believe, or boarding, one of the two. Get that confirmation in just a moment. This sends Winnipeg on to the power play, their first of this period. it'll be the 5th power play of the night for the Winnipeg Avros as the net off its bearings, so the play called dead. The Avros still searching for their first power play goal in this one, as this would definitely help their cause in terms of bringing it home too, as they go up by 2 goals. With a lot of time remaining still, as Pierre has that shot blocked by Veach, number 10 really feeling that one as she heads off towards the bench for a line change. As warrior mentality from number 10 there to sacrifice the body to get into the lane of who's been the best shooter in the league this season in Rio Pierre. Searching for goal number 40 as well. As face-off draw. Won by the Avros. And that shot unable to get through. Rebound there though. Loose puck for Clausen. Puts it wide of the net. This poked off the boards and heading towards the puck into the zone all by herself. Number 8 in Kirby Gray. Short-handed, was looking to get something going, but shut down by the Avros. As in the neutral zone, Carlin Zant. That pass taken away by the stick of a Yellowhead Chiefs player in Pollock, as Pollock sends this all the way down low into the Avros end. The Avros not able to get anything really going here so far as this turned over onto the stick of Gray. She entangles off the post. I mean, it might have just gone a piece of it as we play on here with the Avros still up by a goal. What a chance from number 8 for this Yellowhead Chiefs team in Kirby Gray. As Robin Clausen the other way has that shot blocked up, gets it to Haggard as Haggard tries to get it towards the left face-off circle, but pass denied by Pollock. Stick into the slot for the Avros, deflected wide of the net. Off the stick of Robin Clausen, who gets it back, circles up high in the Chiefs zone. That shot turned wide of the net. She wheeled around Clausen, almost got it back, but goes past her stick into the Chiefs' possession as it's Kirby Gray. Back to even strength. As that shot deflects and goes into the netting, but one effort by Kirby Gray to chip it up to herself on that penalty kill to break out of the zone and continued up with it all the way through the neutral zone. Or she got into the Avros end, and she's been sneaky on the forecheck all night long. Swoops around to intercept a pass, which Avros defense thought they could get it through easily, but that not the case, as Gray pickpocketed. Put up a beautiful dangle on Almeida, but just hits the post and was denied to keep this game. One goal deficit for the Yellowhead Chiefs as they trail in this one, with 13-32 down 3-2 on the scoreboard. Thank you for tuning into this one, ladies and gentlemen, MFHL fans. This has been another great one in the final weekend of the MFHL's regular season. That pass flipped on a bit by number 16, and Clausen as it ends up down low, taken away by Evie West. West, she's unable to get that past the skate of Casey George. As this held in by Yellowhead. It was Cochran at the point. Now Speechley trying to chip it out. Cochran will hold it again. Now she steps up. That shot through. Rebound not going to be there as Almeida able to cover things up. Chief gets taken down in front of the Avros net once that whistle went. We'll get another face-off coming up inside the Avros zone. As the draw won by the Chiefs, and that shot from Cochran wide of the net, as it was Rose who took the shot. 3 Cochrans on this team, by the way, as here comes number 9, Rio Pierre, has a girl with her. Pierre, backhand, that pass denied as she tried to get it back door, but it was unable to find its way through. Good defensive back check. Or back check into the defensive zone, as I should say, by this Yellowhead Chiefs team. Tara Knight her pass a bit behind Veach. Veach tried her best to maintain control of it, but couldn't stick away by Winnipeg Avros player. And Adeline Nolgren, who's able to muscle her way through the wall as that shot wide of the net as it gets deflected out of play. It's a face-off draw to the blocker hand side of Claire Merckx coming up here for the Winnipeg Avros as Rio Pierre wins the saddle, and Nolgren high up at that face-off circle, turned aside by Merckx, held in at the point by Turner now. She tries to send this in deep, but meets the shin pad instead of Pollock. Turner able to muscle her way up the wall. Toe drags in. Now Turner with some finesse goes wide of the net, or high of the net as I should say. Ends up down low for Callie Lavalley into the slot. Turned aside by Merckx. There was Lavalley as number 8 was looking for her second of the game. Plays it into the corner for Pierre as Pierre tries to send this up to the point. Gets it back with one hand. She spins away now from the pressure of a Chiefs defenseman or forward, and Woloski is Shortridge unable to keep that in as it went into her skates. Picked up by Grace Kirk now in her own end as Kirk tries to spin away from the pressure from an Avro. As this makes its way through the neutral zone into the Avros end, quickly up to Robin Clausen as Clausen pulls up. That shot handcuffs Merckx a bit, but able to come away with the save and cover up. With 11:16 remaining in this period of action. Brought to you by Midcanton Fasteners and Tools. Robin Clausen loses that draw as the Chiefs lose possession of it along the wall. George trying to pin up an Avro along the wall, but unable to, as Haggard plays this to the point. Cunningham goes back to Haggard as Haggard drops this off for Cunningham, trying to drag to the middle to make it past a Chiefs stick, but shut down was Cunningham, activating up into the play as the Avros work this DDD in their own end before working it into the neutral zone, but contested well there by the Chiefs as Yellowhead looks to work this out, unable to, as the Avros pick this puck up and work their way right back in as Clausen circles back to the point to Amy. That shot through a screen, but wide of the net. So it did not get the deflection the Avros were hoping for. Puck ends up into the corner. It was aerial for just a moment. Zant rubbed off the puck there. Courtney Cochran tries to break this puck out off the wall, but unable to. Taken away by the other number 4 and Ella Speechley. Speechley's backhand pass taken away by Despierre-Gelaire. Despierre-Gelaire past the red line, sends this in deep. Will go off for a change. So Adriana Almeida leaves this for Evie West as West threads a pass up. Number 17 in Liberty, Amy. But Amy had that go off of her stick awkwardly. Was unable to contain the pass as Yellowhead gets it right back. Speechley almost with the good stick in the lane to create a turnover there, but unable to do that. Shot through a bit of a screen, turned aside by Almeida. With 9:40 remaining on the clock now. Where the shots are 32-15 in favor of the Avros at this point. It's this draw won by Yellowhead. Knocked off the puck there was Hodgson by number 21, I believe, in West. Callie Lavalley with a good effort almost to get that buck back, but was not quite able to. As this puck picked up by Tara Knight, or Veach that is. Veach looking to draw a penalty, unable to, but gets back up on her skates as Veach runs into her own teammate now. As Hodgson in the vicinity there with number 10. Avros get this out and get this cross ice into the neutral zone, but sent right back in by the Yellowhead Chiefs down below the Avros goal line. As Evie West, that pass towards Adeline Nolgren, gonna miss her completely as it was behind her all the way down, and not for Nyson as the ref had their arm up initially. But it'll be Yellowhead who's able to break out with these anyways. Trying to get this to the slot for Woloski. Woloski, as I should say. But unable to get it to her was Pollock. As Pollock had that puck get past her in the Avros zone as the Avros break this in. Pierre cuts to the middle, shot high of the net as that was contested well. Yellowhead continuing to play her tight as this chipped out onto the stick of Kirby Gray. Was dangerous with the chance earlier in this period. Another dangerous one turned aside by the blocker of Adriana Almeida. As the Avros turn this over into the neutral zone. To Grace Kirk. Woloski has that taken away. The Avros just able to work this in. Pass gets to Clausen, who's turned aside. Merckx almost doesn't cover it up, but is able to in the end, swooping in for a potential rebound. It was Wozni. But number 33 able to cover things up to make the save and get the stoppage in play for a team to get a bit of a breather with 7:57 remaining. You're home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions. This goes between both Avros G all the way into their own end. No icing will be called as Turner picks this puck up. Goes through the middle. Risky, but it pays off as gets a pass up to number 19 in Wozni. Offside on the play, though, as the Avros jumped a bit too far ahead before Wozni sent that in. The puck going off of a Chiefs skate also disrupted things to create that delayed offside for the Avros. As this worked with success this time, and now across with success to Liberty Amy off of the stick of Wozni as Amy takes it into the corner, looking to protect this along the wall, into the slot. That goes up in the high slot for Speechley, but unable to do anything with it. As the Avros work this D-to-D and now work it up. Nice pass to the middle onto the stick of Speechley. Looking to make her way through with strength. That turned aside by Merckx. Rebound there. Another one turned aside by Merckx. As Pierre Denez was right there to try to put that into the net. It's Speechley back in her own end. 6:44 remaining. Off the end boards and eventually out for the Avros. As it's Liberty Amy ends up going into the shin pads of Hodgson. Amy loses her stick. Tracking it as a Chiefs player who's denied by Almeida. Not sure who it was. Gonna get clarification now. Number 19 in Tara Knight. So we still remain a one-goal lead here for the Avros. Flipped in the neutral zone for Lavalley. She chips this in to the Chiefs zone. Trying to get an edge pass, number 15 in Miko. She finally does get the puck back. Threads this up to the point in the Chiefs zone to a defenseman. Tipped wide of the net by an Avro in front. That might have been Lavalley. As Evie West unable to keep this in. Nice play by Knight along the boards to contest that. Pierre tries to slide this through towards the net to Evie West now. As West activates into the zone, taken down hard behind the net, no call on the play. Avros fans from that area. As a wraparound from West, denied by Merckx, but I was about to say, fans were calling for a penalty to be called, thinking that West should have drawn one there, but that not the case. This back into the Avro zone. As they look to work it out onto the stick of Rio Pierre. She makes a Chiefs player fall. That shot into the glove of Merckx. As Pierre denied. Yeah, I meant to show you this all earlier. Forgot to. Pierre, these were her stats coming into tonight. She's now up to 38 assists, still searching for goal 40. As yeah, 76 points coming into tonight's action. Been spectacular. Goaltenders involved in this game also been phenomenal this season. As all three that have been involved in this game within the top 5 in wins in the league. I believe Adriana Almeida, if the Avros are able to hold on, would be credited with a win, since she's played over half the game now. Wishing Sylvester a speedy recovery if she is dealing with something. And now, oh no, an Avro blowing a tire, blows one again, and Shortridge 2-0 developing, great angles denied by Adriana Almeida. What a save by number 35, how clutch, as helping out her teammate in Shortridge who blew a tire not once but twice. That has become a common occurrence in tonight's action. as it happened earlier on in that second period, which led to the Winnipeg Avros goal as it happened to the Yellowhead Chiefs. This time around, it ended up being a dangle, not a shot, and Alameda was ready for it. Played down low to Turner, who activates up into the zone. Shot turned aside by Merckx by that right arm with 4:39 remaining in this third period of action in what's been a great hockey game tonight from Seven Oaks here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, on your home for MFHL Hockey. This unable to be chipped out by the Yellowhead Chiefs. They still have to find a way to work this one out. They'll have some open ice down the left side, and it's worked there to Woloski. And she looks to switch sides now, has that stripped away upon entry to the Avros zone. Amy gains entry into the Chiefs zone. Shot blocked into the shin pad of Rose Deba, the rookie. Able to get in number 17's grill there well enough. That pass just behind Maxwell. She activated up into the play. She looked like she was in a defensive position at first. A forward, of course, for the Yellowhead Chiefs. Under 4 minutes remaining in this matchup, in this period, as I should say, as we still could see overtime. Unless the Avros are able to put up one more goal, then that could very well salt things away in this one. But the Chiefs still with the chance. This puck gets loose to Maxwell. She's behind the Avros defense. Oh, glove saved by Almeida, just catching a piece of that one. As the Chiefs can't buy a break on those odd girl rushes tonight. They've had numerous opportunities on chances like that throughout this period, most recently too. As Matt said it best in the chat, unreal save by Almeida to keep her Avros in front. As the Avros look to help out their goaltender now by keeping this in for an extended period of time. The top line out in Olgren, Lavely, and Pierre for the Avros as the Chiefs able to get this out. This puck exited the zone, so Avros had to get off of the offensive zone to get onside anyways, taken away by the Chiefs all the same. As, Gray gets caught with a bad dangle. They're taken away by Pierre. She dangled her way to the slot, but taken away at the last moment by a stick of a Yellowhead Chiefs player there in tight, close to their net. As this in the Avros zone, they look to work at D-to-D. As this puck up the boards, being bumped off her line there was Nolgren up the boards. No call on the play as the refs letting them play. Could potentially warranted body contact or boarding. Sorry, folks, for a bit of a lag here. Been experiencing a bit of glitches with the internet tonight for some reason. As Pollock looking for a wraparound. Almeida shuts the door on that right post. A sneaky look for number 6 in Pollock. She goes to work alone there. In for support was Woloski, but the Avros able to beat it and get away out of the zone to clear it out. The goalie pulled for this Yellowhead Chiefs now. This Chiefs team now, as I should say. Penalty coming up. This is for too many men. Or too many players, as I should say. And I think they end up being caught when Merckx ends up going to the bench for a change. I could be wrong. Gonna look back on that. If we can. No, I think the play was already up in the Avros zone and it was glitching a bit already anyways. So the Avros end up going back onto the power play here, brought to you by McCann Fasteners and Tools. What they're looking for is to simply control the puck, not let the Chiefs out of their own end here to get an extra attacker on, which would make it technically even strength by the numbers into the low slot. That shot denied wide of the net it goes. As the Avros work it through again. Clausen denied again by Merckx. As somehow that threaded through the skates of an Avro or a Chiefs player onto the stick of Clausen. As goaltender won't be pulled yet for Yellowhead, even though they got it out. Robin Clausen turns away and gets it to safety across ice to a fellow defenseman on her team, but this taken away by Grace Kirk, trying to send this in deep into the Avro zone, locates her teammate middle of the ice instead, and Pollock, whose shot gets deflected, and having to make a tough save was Almeida, but able to just stave it off. She had to battle with that one. Under 20 seconds remaining in this period now, as a call coming up. 2 minutes for body contact as it sends the Avros to the box. So it'll be Dinez going off. So to 4-on-4 we go. So it'll be a timeout for the Yellowhead Chiefs. And a great break for them because not only do they go back to even strength at 4-on-4, but this allows for them to not only pull the goalie, but as well as get an extra attacker out that would not make it even strength, but rather giving them a 5-on-4 advantage. Given that they were on the penalty kill moments ago. As for the Winnipeg Avros, a penalty in a moment where, I mean, it wasn't the hardest hit in the world, but given that body contact can be called, it's a tough penalty to see be taken, given that there's been similar hits in this game that have been let go, and we're into the final 20 seconds of this game, 14.5 remaining. And hey, if Yellowhead's able to take advantage of it, all the power to them, but will they be able to? Is this draw one below the Avros goal line, remaining in the corner? The Avros just content with keeping it there, but the Chiefs able to shovel it out. One more chance, huge block by Liberty Amy. She clears it out for one final time in this game as number 17. A huge play in the defensive zone at the end there, sacrificing the body, the shin pads. She opened up the scoring in this game, ends up being on the ice until the very end. As this Winnipeg Avros squad, first place, still a reality for them, a possibility. As they improve to 26, 3-2 on the season. They end up taking the season series against the Yellowhead Chiefs 3-1. Shots in this game, 38-20 on the scoreboard for the Winnipeg Avros. As for Yellowhead, they'll be back in action again tomorrow in Niverville to take on the the Eastman Selects. As for the Winnipeg Avros, they'll be back in action at home tomorrow to take on the Pembina Valley Hawks. As the MFHL's final weekend of the regular season is almost wrapped up here, but we got a final day of action tomorrow, which I'm very excited for us to be a part of it. We'll be seeing Yellowhead again, of course. Whereas they'll be in action to take on the Eastman Selects on MFHL game day. As for the Avros, as mentioned, they'll be getting going at 1:30 p.m. against the Pembina Valley Hawks back here at Seven Oaks Arena. As we take a look at the standings now, the Eastman Selects, if they're able to take the game to extra time tomorrow, they'll clinch first place. But for the Avros, they now move to 26 wins, which puts them at 54 points and puts them only a point behind Eastman. They had a game in hand on Eastman heading into this weekend. Eastman had the night off tonight. So, yeah, they'll be fresh heading into tomorrow's bout with the Yellowhead Chiefs. As for Rio Pierre, she gets 77 points on the season now, 3 away from getting to 80. We'll have to wait and see if that happens tomorrow. Seeing that our stream continues to lag, happy, I guess we will be in an arena with more secure internet tomorrow, as it should be one heck of a matchup on MFHL game day. As coverage gets going at 2:30 p.m. But as for this game here tonight, the thought that the Winnipeg Avros played a more consistent 60 minutes. Obviously, Yellowhead started to get their chances as they piled up on some odd goal rushes throughout that third, but Adriana Almeida, got to give her a lot of credit for coming into this game in relief for Madeline Sylvester and making huge saves, and the Avros just doing enough to hem the Yellowhead Chiefs in their own end, in the Chiefs' end, as I should say. The Avros down in this one 2-0 and didn't quit as they were able to come back and score 3 unanswered, and the score ended up being a final of 3-2 at the end of it. So really like the fight I saw from the Avros tonight. Came out with more juice during that second period and played with a lot more offensive zone time in this game here tonight. Produced way more of it, as we saw, with 38 shots compared to the 20 that the Yellowhead Chiefs put up on the scoreboard. Also thought that the Avros, they had a lot of trouble last night in the slot, getting free there. They got more looks there tonight and ended up paying off for them once with that Callie Lavely goal. And, of course, the Avros taking advantage of their breaks here tonight when Yellowhead, they ended up blowing tires in that second period of action. Funny enough, in the neutral zone that happens again in the third period to Avery Shortridge, where the Avros goaltending was able to bail them out. And yeah, their goaltending wasn't quite able to bail them out last night. There were some tough shots that Adriana Almeida had to stop against Eastman in that loss. 3 deflections on net. Tonight, not as much. They were more clean shots that ended up beating her for the most part. Yeah, the Avros, like I said, I think started off this game with a ton of the pressure, as we saw, but they give up a quick 2 goals after breaking down a bit, having Yellowhead successfully be able to break out. But then the Avros able to keep a positive mindset and, of course, keep the pressure applied, kept up the attack, and ended up coming away with 3 unanswered goals. And that's going to be the difference in the playoffs for the Avros, is just continuing to keep up the pressure, finding ways to find another gear in your game, because their opponents, especially when they get into the Final Four, given that they make it through the quarterfinals, are, not going to be lowering their level, lower any bit. They're going to be raising their level, if anything. So the Avros need to continue to find ways to do that. And I think in a game tonight that had a playoff feel once again, as all games will this weekend, the Avros were able to succeed in that regard. We'll get into the players of the game now. Brought to you by, for the losing side in the Yellowhead Chiefs, and have this one brought to you by McKen Fasteners and Tools for tonight. Your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Be sure to check out their website at McKenFasteners.shop, as, yeah, we try to get the fonts better here, so you guys can see it. They got store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg. Be sure to check them out today, or as well as checking out their website at McKenFasteners.shop. As for the Yellowhead Chiefs, who I believe should get player of the game for them, I really liked the game today of Jordan Wolosky. Thought that she worked really hard on both ends of the ice, was creating offensive opportunities, and high IQ on that first goal of the game to open the scoring for the Yellowhead Chiefs, shooting it through a screen that was produced by Winnipeg Avros defenseman, using her opponent as a decoy, and sniping one past Madeline Sylvester, which she didn't even see coming, really, it looked like, until it was in the back of the net. So Jordan Wolosky, not only did she score a goal in tonight's game, but thought that she put in a great effort and ended up being rewarded for it on the score sheet, and just impacted the game positively when she was out there on the forecheck, and made some good plays in the defensive zone too. So she gets player of the game, brought to you by McKen Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs, as mentioned. As for Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, who will be the sponsor of the winning side tonight in the Winnipeg Avros, is we'll fix the fonts again. Weird lighting here in Seven Oaks Arena. Some of our sponsors looked okay with the white font, and that third period for Mid-Canada, I'm not sure what changed. But as for the Winnipeg Avros, so we can take a look at the score sheet. I mean, Liberty Amy was able to score the opening goal in this one. She was big time in her defensive zone, able to get multiple blocks in this game, including in the last 10 seconds of this game, as you saw, and was able to get that puck cleared out. Rio Pierre, of course, got an assist in this game. Like the way Ella Speechley looked, she got an assist. Leah Clausen scoring a goal, same with Kylie Lavalley. But I'm going to give it to Adriana Almeida. Almeida coming into this one and pitching a shutout. Not easy to come into a game. I mean, she had a chance to warm up and only 20 minutes had gone, but to come into a game where your team is down 2-1 and to make the big saves time after time she made tonight, especially on those augural rushes that the Yellowhead Chiefs had, it was a big difference in this one in the end for the Winnipeg Avros. As much as I talked about them hemming in the Yellowhead Chiefs, Yellowhead started to find their chances, and Almeida was able to bail out her teammates in the end. So she ends up technically getting a shutout, ends up getting credited for the win, I believe, in this one, and yeah, it was lights out for the Winnipeg Avros. One of the big reasons why she was an alternate on this year's Team Manitoba women's national team that competed in the women's nationals, and yeah, big reason why she's among top 3 in the league in wins so far this year. In the top 2, that play of the game brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, your one-stop shop for all of your sports cards and memorabilia needs. It's Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check them out in their only store location in the city of Winnipeg at 995 Miltsteagle Drive, as well as checking out their website to see their wide variety of products at CanCentralSportsCards.com. As for us on MFHL Game Day, we won't be seeing the Avros again until playoffs. Be sure to check out our website as well as our socials, as we'll have the full playoffs broadcast schedule posted for us tomorrow on Super Bowl Sunday, after the Eastman Selects game comes to a conclusion. A bit later after that, maybe posting it after Super Bowl Sunday, to be honest, after the game itself, as maybe too invested in it by the time I get home from Niverville in that game. But yes, thank you for tuning into this one, MFHL fans. As for us, we're going to be back in action tomorrow for one last MFHL Game Day stream this year, as this one has standings implications still. Eastman looking to lock up first place. Winnipeg looking for some help from Yellowhead, as they prefer a regulation loss for Eastman, and for Winnipeg looking to win in regulation to jump into first place in the standings. We'll see what happens tomorrow on MFHL Game Day. As for tonight, big performance from Adriana Almeida. The Avros power back after being down 2-0. This has been MFHL Game Day. I've been your host, Graham the G Show Forsyth. Thanks for tuning in to this one, everybody. Thank you to our sponsors and Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, Terrico Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia for sponsoring another edition of this great hockey league in the MFHL. In the penultimate game, the Avros bounced back after being shut out last night for the second time in the season, coming back down 2-0, scoring 3 unanswered, and holding on to win this one, their 26th win of the year. Yellowhead looks to bounce back tomorrow in Niverville, while Winnipeg looks to win another one here at home to end their season off against Pembina Valley. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for our MFHL Game Day regular season finale in 2024-2025. Have a good one, everybody.